Okay, I've already started mixing this and I forgot about turning the camera on. I use this DevCon right here. It's just a 5-minute epoxy, but it dries up clear. Once it gets on there, their pins are on pretty good, so we're just going to go ahead and get this put in because it's been about 3 minutes since I started mixing this. All I do with it is I just brush it on. I get these little brushes at Wally World. It's already starting to dry up a little, but not enough to where it'll matter. I try to get as much as I can around the edges. I don't want to put a large amount on it. If anything gets on the handle with this cedar, I can sand it, but now if you're working with some of those pre-scales bought, I guess it may be different. I've never done but one set of those and I got lucky. This is just a outdoors knife. It's not a let's take this thing and show it off to everybody at the swap meet, camp meet, whatever. It's trying to trick you because I made my pen just a smidgen bigger on the edge just to kind of keep it in. One side. This side of the wood I don't sand. I kind of leave it. I'm trying to make sure I get enough around the pins because that helps set the pin too. That's pretty much it. I mean, there's nothing fancy about this. I have a couple of friends, they do Cerakoting, but they're so backed up a lot of times I've actually never gotten them to do anything with mine. I went somewhere else, and it wasn't because their work's not good, because it is. I've seen it, it's real good, but it was going to be a while before they was going to be able to get to it. And the gentleman that wanted it done in a hurry, which takes care of a lot of those blemishes and stuff. I personally like that because I'm more into the outdoors frontier type, gives it character. So once I get that done, I just take it and I wrap it in a towel for protection. Right over here. It probably jars you around, but I'm not a professional movie maker, which is probably a good thing. And I crank it up and I watch for the butt right here. That starts letting me know whether or not I'm getting a decent seal or if I need to move it up. And sometimes I do, I have to move it up to get that seal. And naturally I'm going to have to move it up a little bit. Tell you what I'll do, because I've got time. We're going to grab 2 pieces of scrap wood over here. Crank that on out a little bit more. What that'll do is just give me a little more of a vise. Kind of. Crank those 2 down. They may crack because this is some old cheap cedar. Not cedar, but cranked down pretty good. So next time you see it, it'll be a finished product. Whenever I do the handles, I'll put some oil step. What I do is just gonna stick it down in here gently, not putting a lot of weight on it or anything. I use turpentine to clean it. Once that's been cleaned real good, it's kind of a natural oil anyway. And then just come back over it with boiled linseed oil. I do that with all of my wooden handled knives. Now that you can see, this is what the linseed oil does. And it really brings that red back out. And it's just a natural finish, as opposed to putting a stain on it or a clear coat that'll eventually crack and come off of it. Same thing over here. And it feels good too in the hand, to me. Now some of you folks may not like it, but it's what I do with all my axe handles, and it's something that I can come back and do again and again and again and again and so on. And it penetrates inside of it. I'm hoping that it'll make that cedar not so bad as far as cracking. It's one of the bad things I'm thinking about with the cedar, hitting it by accident or dropping it, if it's going to crack. Don't know. Well, let it set, come back and put another coat on it.